Welcome to episode 37 of the Rex Chapman Show with my Superdome homeboy from the L-Town, Josh Hopkins. How are you, Josh?
I'm terrible, Rex. I'm awful. How are you?
I'm terrible as well. Okay. Misery loves company, so that's why we're here. We may as well just get right into it.
Address it. Go ahead.
Just rip the Band-Aid right off. Kentucky lost.
First round
in the tournament. 15
seed to a 2 seed.
Yeah. I was somewhat fortunate in this regard in that while we were getting beaten on Thursday night, I think I was pronouncing Pete Gillen dead, who hadn't died yet. But
I saw that. That was fantastic. Oh, that was great. Rest in peace.
I didn't know. Pete Gillen. Yeah.
When you came back and said it, I was laughing. How'd that go? Okay, I'd like to know. You said it was during that you were whatever you guys call the head out, the period, going to commercial, and you said
Rest
RIP. Yeah. How'd that go down once we went to commercial?
I think everybody was checking to see, like, is Pete Gillen dead? And then Seth said, Rex, is Pete? Then he thought maybe I was saying God Shamgod had died, who I also mentioned in that. And I said, wait, Pete Gillen. I said, who am I thinking of? Oh, Skip Prosser. That's who I'm thinking of, which both of them coached at Xavier back in the day. And that's right. I also said, don't do drugs. 14 years of drugs will do that to you.
That was a great out of that. That was fantastic. The God Shamgod was an incredible reference. That was I was stunned until I was like, oh, he just pronounced someone dead on national TV. I guess that would scare
everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone who knows Pete Gillen.
Yeah.
Especially
Pete Gillen.
Pete was at 5-star. He was a coach at 5. I know Pete since I'm a teenager. So anyway, I wished him. It was a great day. I've been thinking Pete's dead for 10 years.
Back from the grave. By the way, this is episode 37, a really odd number for, so what this is, what we got?
There's hardly anybody. I had to look up some people. The most notable, I think, Meta World Peace 37 with the Lakers.
Yeah, that's great because odd number. It makes total sense that there's an odd.
Yeah, there's probably some football players and baseball players, but
what are those? I do know one football player.
Who you got?
Sean Alexander, Seahawks running back for a lot of the time, right?
Okay.
And from Kentucky, didn't go to university, didn't go to any school, but from Kentucky.
So that's got you.
That's a good.
That's a good pull. Very good pull, Josh.
Did you happen to read anything from book club this week?
Did not.
Me either. I hate reading. That's been book club.
We should go back to Kentucky because I was saying that I was kind of fortunate because that day in the studio, Thursday, Friday, they're killers. Like there's all these games going on and you can barely watch like a minute of something because there's all these other games and then we're going in and out. So every time I looked up, or every now and then somebody'd go, Rex, Kentucky. I'd look up there and it'd be a random score and I'd see the games close, but I didn't get to watch it or didn't have to watch it like you guys did. So tell me what happened.
We lost.
Yeah. That's it.
No, I mean,
okay.
It was one of those games. We hadn't played well in so long. We were 3-6 or so, in our last games, and it just looked stagnant. And Oscar did everything he could.
Yeah.
No one, Grady and Ty looked. They just didn't add anything. I think they were 2 for 17. I don't know what it was. I try and erase it. They didn't do anything. Nobody really did it was just brutal.
Yeah, that was the feeling I got. It was so brutal that even the people in the studio were like, they wanted to make fun of me, and I was trying to let them be like, yes, guys, get your shots in. They were like sick. I think everybody also sick that Kentucky's out, because that sucks for the tournament in general. However, St. Peter's is the story. They're in the Sweet 16. And the other thing I'll say about St. Peter's is, yes, it was a bad loss, but they upset Iona to get into the tournament. Mm-hmm. And had we lost to Iona in the first round, that would have been really bad.
Well, right? It's still really bad.
It is. But St. Peter's, what I want to say, did you see what their coach said here recently? It was after that game, I think, or maybe it might have been after their second one.
I've seen a few things, but what do you reference?
I loved it. He said, people think they're going to muscle us. He said, I've got guys from New York and New Jersey. That's what we do. We do that. So they're not afraid. Their guards were just as steady as they could be, but they've got a big dude on the wing, a big white kid that's like 6'8", 6'9". That's a matchup problem for not only us, but for whoever they just beat to Murray. Right. And Murray's good too, right?
I know. They knocked out my two favorite teams in the whole tournament back to back. I know. But I don't think that guy's going to be a matchup problem for Purdue. Purdue's giant.
Who? Oh yeah. Oh no. But no, he's a wing player though. He plays out on the floor. He can shoot it. He can spread it. We didn't have anybody that could guard him. You would think that Keon Brooks, that would be a good matchup for him. But Keon didn't really show up. I hate it. And Ty struggled, but I said in the thing, I remember playing in the NCAA as a freshman. And Ty was much the same way here. Their whole game plan, because they know, look, if we contain him and don't let him go crazy offensively, don't let him be the head of the snake and make Severe Wheeler be that guy, they have a better chance of winning. They neutralized Ty. I remember what it felt like being a freshman where, you're out there and he much the same. He's slim, he's not grown into his body yet, really. Mm-hmm. And when the opposing defense, a team of 22, 23, 24-year-olds mm-hmm. is targeting you and hitting you every time you come across the paint, and they've played more basketball than you have. And even if you're up for the challenge, at some point, you're just going to run empty. He made a big shot late, which was huge. But again, I remember what that feels like, and it's no fun, man. You're out there and you're at Kentucky. You're supposed to win. Yeah. Pressure starts mounting, and what a brutal loss. Right.
Yeah. You feel it as a fan. You're like, now it's just a half. Now they only got to do this for another half and now we're down to the, fourth quarter, 10-minute mark, and they're right here. And then you squeeze into an overtime and you're like, well, the longer the game goes, we're better. We should be able to pull out, and just didn't happen. Well, those free throws.
The thing that, because we got to watch the very beginning of it, and it was whatever it was, like 6-4, and I'm like, oh shit! Like I could at that point picture the pace of that game going, just like we're not gonna run out of this. And then I look up at halftime, and it's whatever it is, and I'm like, shit! This is how this game's gonna go.
Right. Brutal. And it went that way. One thing though, I did want to, and I am not saying John Calipari deserves to be criticized. He deserves for people to ask questions. He deserves for people to say this is, not Kentucky basketball. Our worst season last year. And then might be, they're calling it the worst loss, that we've had. I don't know. But he's at Kentucky. He better be prepared for that.
We lost to Evansville and we lost to Robert Morris in the NIT. So that's pretty bad.
Right. And look, it's not for everyone. You got to be able to take this criticism. But the people just clamoring to replace Cal.
Idiotic.
It's the dumbest thing. Now, listen, you can criticize. He deserves.
Sure.
But what are you talking about? He's a Hall of Fame coach. You can criticize the offense and you don't like what's been going on and the defense, whatever you want, but he's a Hall of Fame coach. If getting a new coach is just, it's a crapshoot. You don't know what you're going to get.
It's a crapshoot anyway, but at Kentucky, because that place is not for everybody. We've seen what it's done to Eddie Sutton and Billy Gillespie and even Tubby Smith to a certain extent, and to Rick, you only have a shelf life of so long at Kentucky because it wears you out.
Yep.
But Cal embraces all of the crap that goes along with being the face of the franchise. Yeah. And that, yes, makes a ton of money. We get it. Yes, deserves criticism when things aren't going well. I get it. But who else is there? And why do we want somebody else? We don't.
Yeah.
We don't.
Yeah. I forgot, like you said, Eddie Sutton. I mean, we didn't know what we were getting in Eddie Sutton. We know he was a fantastic basketball
fantastic coach.
Yeah.
But the spotlight and his, he had issues. The spotlight exacerbated those, and the pressure of the program damn near drove him crazy. So,
and I don't know, what level of alcoholism he reached after Kentucky, but it was well noted after, and I'm sure inside the program at the time, that he had a real problem.
Yes.
And you didn't know what you're getting. I mean, Pitino was just a godsend, how everything came together.
Again, a guy that embraces, like John does, embraces the stuff that goes along with being the basketball coach at Kentucky. Perfect guy at the perfect time.
Hell of a coach. And he's had since then some real problems. You don't know character thing. You don't know. Then Tubby, who was a great coach and a great man.
Yep.
But we thought we were getting something else. We thought we were getting a Pitino up and down trapping. He didn't play that way at all. Ball line defense and high low. And it was, we were like, what? I thought because he coached under Rick. Then you got the Gillespie just debacle. I mean, we thought, here's this guy that raised, was it Texas Tech or that he came from, and raised this program, or Texas Tech, I think, and raised this program. And I remember thinking, this guy doesn't have a wife or kids. He just eats and sleeps basketball. And he came there, and you saw that it was a nightmare. So then we get a big winning hire again with a guy who can not only coach, but can be the mayor. And now people want to run him off. He's got the third most of active coaches, third most wins in the NCAA tournament of active coaches. You go back to, it's a one-loss tournament. If it were 7, we'd have had 3 under him by now at least.
Yep.
Then you look at recency you look back at Coach K, who lost in 2014, he lost. He was a 3rd seed, lost in the first round to I don't know. But in 2014, no, that was 2014. I had 2012 written down. 2 lost to Lehigh, a 15 in the first round. There's ups and downs. It's a, one-loss tournament. Izzo lost to Middle Tennessee State in the first round, 2-15 in 2017. Tony Bennett, who's widely known as one of the greatest guys and best X and O's coaches, done it all at a university that's not always known, as a basketball program. And he lost. He was the only 1 seed to lose. And what was it? UMBC. I don't even know what that is. And they Baltimore lost by County. 20 points.
Uh-huh.
It happens.
It happens. I thought Frank Martin, you said all that terrific, Josh, terrifically. Frank Martin, I thought, said something. He said, the hardest thing I had said as a player, and as a coach, the coaches do a big job during the week of trying to convince especially the higher seeds, that the numbers don't mean anything. Hey guys, yes, we're playing a 4 seed. They're young brains and they don't quite understand. Frank Martin said the tournament, as it's a one shot deal, is all about matchups. He said, I go back to heavyweight boxing back in the day. It's why Ali could beat Norton and Norton could beat Frazier and Frazier could beat Ali. And it was that they were
styles.
They were different styles. And so we ran into a hot team who's obviously better than a 15 seed.
Right.
They are. I mean, they're in the Sweet 16 at this point. And the longer that they played against Murray the other night, the more I was like, damn, I wouldn't have wanted to play Murray either, And we had a lot of what was it? We had guys who hadn't played in the tournament before, right? Most of our guys, or had they?
Oscar hadn't, Ty hadn't, Kellen had.
Also, it's easier. Kellen had at Davidson, but when you're wearing that Kentucky jersey and things aren't going well out there, and you're not used to that, it can, it can have a weight of its own. And the longer the game goes, if you're not up for that and you don't embrace that kind of thing, that can start to make a difference.
And the game's changed and continues to evolve. But, Ohio State lost last year, 2-15.
Yeah.
You look at, it used to be in your day, I mean, Kentucky was going to do well because they're Kentucky. Bring in a coach, they're at least going to get recruits. Yeah. It's changed.
Yeah, it's changed.
It's about the coach more than the program. Look at Indiana. They've relegated to nothing. They were all-time blue blood program. And now they've been bad for a while. Not bad, but not Indiana standards.
Yeah.
Don't be so quick to run off a Hall of Fame coach, okay? He's done all right.
I'm with you.
My bad. My bad.
No, that's all right. No, I like it. I'm glad you brought it up. Let's switch gears for one quick second. I didn't plan on talking about this, but I want to now. Let's go 60 miles down the road to Louisville. So Kenny Payne and I had exchanged messages. I've been kind of texting him here and there over the last 6 weeks or so or a couple months since the job was open and whatnot. So he takes the job and, his voicemail's full and we've traded calls and stuff. And then he called a couple nights ago, the day of the press conference. And he called and I heard his voice and I just started crying. I did. It took me back to just
that dunk on him.
Yeah. It took me back to his, us being teenagers, and it's not great that he's the coach, and he's the first black coach at the school, first black head basketball coach at the school. It's huge. Who'd have thunk that it would have been Kenny Payne? It's the greatest thing ever. That press conference he had, all of the former players being there. It's the perfect hire at the perfect time. Kenny's not been a head coach, so all of that remains to be seen. I know this, he will get players and Kenny will put a staff around him that helps him and helps them. I'm so excited for him. I hate it for us in a sense that's the only sense. Also, Kenny and I've done that before. He played there when I was playing there. So I know he loves Kentucky. And I'm just excited for it. I'm excited for them. It's been a rough few years. Chris Mack's a great basketball coach. He really is.
Exactly to my point.
He'll end up somewhere back soon. But I'm really excited for Kenny.
Yeah, that seems like a home run hire. We will see, but yeah, it scares the shit out of me because we've certainly missed him.
The Rex Chapman Show, powered by Basketball News, is sponsored by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the easy way to play daily fantasy. It's daily fantasy simplified. It's just you versus the projected numbers, Josh. You can pick from 2 up to 5 players and an over-under on their projected stats for a single game and win up to 10 times on any entry. Prize Picks is safe and offers fast withdrawals, Josh.
I like the sound of this.
Well, Prize Picks allows mixed sports entries, offering every sport you can think of. Your Prize Picks entries can be made in 60 seconds or less. It's that easy. You can take the over on Ja Morant's points and the under on Anthony Davis's rebounds if you want. You can receive a match on your deposits up to $100 using our exclusive promo code NEWS. That's promo code NEWS for an instant 100% deposit match on up to $100.
So hold on, that's program code NEWS, NEWS, like the news on TV?
That's promo code NEWS for an instant 100% deposit match on up to $100. Guess what else? Prize Picks has an award-winning, easy-to-use mobile app available in the App Store and Google Play. What are your other couple of storylines that you're looking at as the tournament progresses? You got a team you like, or are you completely just over it?
Yeah, I mean, I barely could watch anymore. It makes me sad. No, but I've been going out. I mean, you got to be so impressed with Drew Timme. I mean, he's scored like 57 points in the first 2 games, and it's like 23 of 37 shooting. Like he's just been dominant, and he's been a bucket. And he started as the player of the year favorite, I'd say, and it didn't maybe have that kind of year, but he's having it now.
I'm with you.
So good. Gonzaga's not your father's. Gonzaga.
See, you caught yourself.
Gonzaga is not your father's Gonzaga. Now they've got not only all this experience and depth and a great coach, they've got players that are going to be picked in the lottery.
Yeah.
Maybe the first player. Who do you think is going to be? Who's your favorite of the three? Jabari, Paolo, and Chet.
Ben Mathurin.
Yeah, that's
my pick. He's the best player. He's the best player. Benedict Mathurin.
Let me brag on you for a second, because last year you said it would be your favorite. Everybody was wondering, debating Jalen. What's his name?
Oh yeah, Suggs and Suggs and Barnes, and who went number one? It was Cade Cunningham.
Yeah, Cade Cunningham. And they asked you on a show on TV, and you said,
big kid at Evan Mobley.
Evan Mobley.
Is it Evan Mobley?
Yes.
And he's, but
USC
he's good.
Kid, and he's going to win the Rookie of the Year.
I think so. He's
I
good.
think he is. So if you say that Mathurin is your guy,
he's the best player. I think this really will boil down like this year to and I'm not saying these players are like that. I'm saying a similar draft of like Elijah Wan and Jordan, and when you've got bigs, Sam Bowie, that are these bigs, Jabari, Holmgren, and Banchero, their size and their skill, you go, wow. The person most ready to step into an NBA game tomorrow is Benedict Mathurin, 6'5", 6'6". I don't know if you saw how they went into overtime, Josh. Did you see any of that game?
No, I just saw they went.
Okay, well, he had a dunk in this game and he took over. He had 30-something. He did everything that you want and that you want a college kid to do. late in the basketball game. Like if we just didn't have that kind of guy. Maybe Ty's that a year or two, but it takes time. No, Ben Matherin's good. The storyline that I kind of like is UCLA. UCLA was a first 4 team last year and went to the Final Four, which incredible. They're a 4 seed, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're now back in the Sweet 16 with our guy Johnny Juzang, who went to Kentucky, transferred there, and they're playing Carolina.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun to see those jerseys on the same court.
I agree, and they're both kind of underdogs. Carolina's been playing so well that they're scary, but they kind of limped in the other day. They were up 25. Kid for them elbowed another kid and got kicked out of the game, and from then on they just went down the toilet.
Yeah, I saw that white kid.
But they rallied to win. He'll be back this week. That'll be a good game.
That'll be fun.
Purdue St. Peter's.
Whoever makes the other team play their style.
Yeah,
they are so big.
They're so big.
I thought they were going to be too big for us if we met them. They worried me all year, and I just can't see. I mean, St. Peter's is so much better than we thought. So well coached, has so many more talented players than anyone knew. But I mean, how many times are there just going to be offensive putbacks?
I'm with you.
Got to figure that. I just can't see that happening.
Yeah. All right. Texas Tech, Duke, and I don't know how you feel about. Well, I probably do know how you feel about this. I'm not going to be mad if Duke wins at all. I'm really not. I know we hate Duke as an idea, as a Kentucky basketball people. Mm-hmm. I've always really liked Coach K, and when we were growing up, like if somebody said who's the best coach in the college basketball, we'd have probably both said Dean Smith. Like Dean Smith, that's the guy. Mm-hmm. Well, for a whole generation, my son, who's almost 30 now, like that, Mike Krzyzewski's kind of that guy to this whole generation. I know people don't like him for different reasons, but I got to tell you, the guy's aces. He's a good one, and his players love him. To do what he's done for this long, I don't like Duke just because we're UK. I get it, but I like all his players. He just does things the right way, and I'm going to be sad when it's over for him and for them. But I'm not hating them going on and making a big run here. You?
I hate is tossed around in sports so much. I hate them.
Yeah.
Now that with the internet and it's the vitriol is louder and deeper, people it's just annoying. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't hate. You know who you hate is Vladimir Putin. I don't know, whoever. And I will be. I thought, is Izzo going to be his last game? I was watching that intently, and I respect the hell out of him and what he's done and their program. But I hate him, and I hate Duke, and I hope they lose.
No, I'm with you. I get it completely. Well, our SEC has not fared well. We have one team left, two.
Arkansas, last team standing. Yeah.
Arkansas, Zags. Who you got?
Zags.
Yeah,
but Arkansas's got some athletes and some players. They could. I wouldn't be like, oh my God. I wouldn't be.
Yeah, it was fun sitting in 1 day, 2 days we had Frank Martin and 2 days we had Bob Huggins, and Frank coached under Bob years ago, so they're tight and they know one another well. It was fun to sit in with them and just get their take on, for us especially, asking about SEC players and, all that. Both of them said JT Note is a problem and for Arkansas, and that, there's really nothing you can do once he decides he's ready to score. So
he's amazing. Little guy can just go.
Yeah. So just remember that. Gonzaga also has, a couple of people they can throw at him from time and mix it up a little bit. And then obviously they've got the big guy, Holmgren protecting the basket. I think Gonzaga, just because they have more guys, but I'm not going to be surprised. I love Jalen Williams at Arkansas. Big guy, leads the league, leads the nation in taking charges, can pass and shoot.
Yeah. Can't believe he's not on Duke.
I know. Yeah, really. All right. So let's switch sides here. Houston, Arizona coming up. Who you got? Did you even see?
Yeah, I did. I watched the whole thing. Kelvin Sampson's gotten his hand caught in the cookie jar a couple times. Man, can that guy coach?
He really can. And if you think back, it was all bullshit. It was over text messaging to recruits. So dumb.
His defense looks like an amoeba.
Yeah. What's amazing to me is like same for Miami, who we'll talk about in just a second. They have like, they're not that big, but they've got like 8 guys 6'6", and right. 215. And they're wildly different, but they're athletic. The thing that I like most about Miami and about Houston is that Kelvin Sampson, and I'm drawing a blank on Jim Larinaga at Miami, that they know that they have the best athletes. And so they speed the game up. They press, they trap, they speed the game up to allow their better athletes to play faster and jump higher, and do all that instead of relying on, kind of your defense to in the half court to kind of get yourself going. They force the issue. They impose their will on you from the very outset. Much like if you remember 40 Minutes of Hell with and Rick's teams back in the day, that just they demand you play their pace, and that's really difficult for anybody. It'll be difficult for Arizona, but Arizona has the thoroughbreds to run with them.
Right, that's a problem when you play like that, and then you come up with a team that's got more athletes.
Think about this. Okay, so we're going to switch gears to Michigan and Villanova. But, okay, Michigan is in the Sweet 16 with a former player
coaching,
Juwan Howard. Penny Hardaway almost made it. Another alum. I'm looking here. There's 2 more. Kenny Payne was just hired at his alma mater. We've got someone else.
UNC,
Carolina, and I believe Hubert Davis, and I believe Ed Cooley.
Okay.
At Providence.
That is interesting.
Bit of a trend that I like. Dig back into your, you know how it is. You never know if it'll work, but right now the trend anyway is pretty cool.
What would if, let's just say out of the blue, Kentucky were to try and go that route? There's no even.
I have no idea.
Nobody even, but Penny and Juwan had been coaching in the league for a while. Yeah. Even when he was playing his last few years, he was coaching. And Penny did some AAU stuff. I'm sure he's coached more, but I mean, that was just a hire.
It was, but there used to be a formula, or not necessarily a formula, but a path that coaches had to take. Right. You had to do this, and you had to be at the back of the bench, and the front of the bench, and then, and Yeah, they did. They took Penny from AAU. That's where he coached. And he's gone through his lumps, and he's still going. He's taken his lumps. But he's grown this year. Jawan's gone through some stuff. He's taken his lumps. Oh, the other person that almost made it, Mike Woodson. So, I just think that there's something there that at least I think it's pretty cool.
I mean, it's not at his alma mater, but Jerry Stackhouse, that would seem kind of random. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think, a lot of that is institutions think this guy will be able to recruit.
Yeah.
Kids be like, I watched him. He's my dad tells me he was one of the best dunker, all this stuff. So that obviously helps when you're going to a living room with one of these kids. So there's not even a pro Kentucky pro out there that I would even, because it's got to be something really cool. It can't be like, someone with, it can't be like someone with experience. Like it's, it can't be Travis Ford.
Yeah.
It's got to be like a,
I don't know.
No idea.
I don't either. We need to delve into it a little more.
I hope people that listen, tweet you about ideas of who would be a cool former player.
I love it. Okay, so you got Villanova or Michigan?
I got Villanova.
I got Villanova too, but not going to be shocked. Okay, Kansas, Providence. Let's both say it at the same time. 1, 2, 3. Providence. Yeah, that's right on time. I don't.
Hey, you say how much you bench press, and I'll say how much I do. On 3, 1, 2, 3, 200, 400. That's Dirk Diggler. I forgot what his name was. John C. Riley.
Yeah.
So who?
I'm taking Providence. I'm taking Providence. I'm pulling for Ed Cooley. I love that guy. Not that I don't love Bill Self. I as much as we're supposed to dislike Duke, that's how much I dislike Kansas as an idea.
I like it. I'm a fan myself.
Also love their players. Yeah.
Did you settle on Miami over Iowa State since you were talking about them? This is a battle of athletes and a defensive squad.
Yeah.
Iowa State locks you down.
I think I'm going to go Miami. Yeah. I hadn't really thought about that, but Iowa State has two guys that can really put it in the basket. But I think Miami just has, I don't know. I like their style a little bit better. Their Jim Larinaga has been around forever. However, Iowa State's coach, brand new, a Wisconsin kid. That's going to be a good game.
This truly will be one of those, whoever can get the other team to play their brand, who can impose their will, if you will. Yeah. But that'll be fun to watch. And you had UCLA over UNC?
I've got, I'm taking UCLA. It's hard. I root for both of those teams. But I had picked UCLA way back when, thinking that they could make a run. I think my bracket is just atrocious, but I think I do. I think I have 5, 6. I didn't have Purdue or St. Peter's, but I have 6 of the teams on that side of the bracket, and I've got Houston, Arizona, Villanova. I didn't have Michigan, didn't have Kansas, had Providence, did not have. So, but that's
of those games.
Yeah.
Thursday and Friday to get to the Elite Eight. What do you think? Will name 2 that should be spectacular to watch.
Wow. I think the Duke Texas Tech game will be must see for many different reasons. The Coach K drama and all that, but Texas Tech is good. Their defense is really good. He's a terrific coach. That one, And wow, I think Villanova, Michigan's going to be a really good game. All of them. I mean, Arizona, Houston, just the styles like we're talking about when you start thinking about the styles of these teams. But yeah, I think Duke, Texas Tech, and Villanova, Michigan will be close games. That UCLA Carolina game is going to be good.
You got to watch that just to see those uniforms on the court in the Sweet 16. It's just,
I know. And they're not like 1 and 2 seeds. We get them as a 4 and an 8 seed.
UCLA was picked, in the beginning of the year to be there, and then they've, been injured, and now they're coming back healthy at the exact right time.
They are, but their best player, in my opinion, Jaime Jaquez, who's been out all year long on and off with ankles. He turned his ankle at the end of their game the other day.
Did he?
And so, and was down. And, he's got ankles like we have. And he if he's not himself, then definite advantage Carolina. But it's going to be, he'll have to turn around. You could tell it was turned a bad one, and then he didn't come back in, and he's a gamer.
He's a tough kid. I love his game. I'd be if we were playing them, he'd be the guy I'd be scared of.
Oh yeah, because he doesn't give a shit. He just plays. Yeah, great footwork.
Not afraid of the lights.
Yeah.
You want him in your bunker, guy, and he's talented.
Arizona, we talked about them last week about their point guard being out. He didn't play in the first game. He came back and played the second game, and he was terrible. I think he was 1 for 9, but he was taking charges. He did that. But also what we said was they may have to use Ben Mathurin more, and they did. And he was amazing. Also, it took overtime for them to win against TCU. So they're going to need the point guard back, better health this week. I would assume he will be having, 4 days off or 3 days off.
Right. But you're talking about the Arizona point guard?
Yeah. Arizona point guard.
He's up and down erratic anyway.
Yeah.
But even to have your timing thrown off by missing some practice and being injured, I would expect he'll play better, but he's all or nothing so many times. I would expect them to beat Houston though in a game of similar styles, but better players.
Very well put. The Rex Chapman Show is sponsored by TicketSmarter. TicketSmarter helps customers from all walks of life experience the power and excitement of live events by giving back through children's charities and creating helpful partnerships. $1 from every transaction will help our charitable partners, including St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, the V Foundation, Quarterbacking Children's Health Foundation, and Coach to Cure MD. TicketSmarter is the official ticket resale partner of PBR, NJCAA, and over 35 collegiate conferences with 250 plus universities, including the Pac-12. While I'm here in Brooklyn, I could catch a Nets game or any of the concerts coming to the Barclays Center. Buying with TicketSmarter is quick, easy, and 100% guaranteed tickets. Find tickets to more than 125,000 concerts, sports, and theater events. Order now. How about this LeBron James character at age 37?
Wow, leading the league in
scoring, which, again, there are some people that tend to hate on LeBron. I just don't get it. In a year where Russell Westbrook's not having his best year, Anthony Davis has been hurt, you would hope that the best player, on the planet, arguably for the last 20 years, would step up. And guess what? He did. And that's what he does.
Yeah. I mean, he looks like he's having fun despite their record. And he definitely was in Cleveland last night, was it?
Oh, whew.
2 nights ago, depending on when this airs. But that he put Kevin Love on a poster. They were both funny about it. Yeah. But did you see his head? He was eye level at the rim for that. I mean, he's 37.
Love it.
When I was 37, I could barely tomahawk dunk really hard right on someone. Okay, barely. I couldn't. Yeah, on a Nerf goal, I couldn't do that when I was 21.
You could. On a Nerf goal, you could.
Well, not a 10-foot Nerf ball.
No, that's
right on the door. You're right on the door.
Yeah.
Could. It's amazing. That's another thing. Just talking about the culture where you have to pick now because they have 24/7 news and 24/7 sports, and you got to. How annoying is it that if you say, "Yeah, LeBron," someone immediately goes, "Jordan," and if you say Jordan, will say, "LeBron, he's better." It's like they're both so.
No, they're both
alone.
Great. They're both great. Hey, by the way, did you see Drew Timmy's interview the other night after the game, after they won? Oh my God, it's an all-timer. He was so excited and happy and stuff that he was wanting to cuss. And they said, tell us about that game. Said you had some choice words for the guys at halftime. He said, I just told them, hey guys, listen, you guys. And then he said, and then I told him, look, we ain't no soft guys. we ain't going out like no soft guys. And just
soft guys. Yeah. That's what he said.
You could see his thought bubble. It was just priceless. And then at the end, he couldn't even at the very end, he couldn't even contain himself, and he was just like, it's good shit, man, talking to his teammate right there on camera. But he avoided cussing like 3 other times. He caught himself and then couldn't do it. It was so great. Typical March Madness, young brains. So awesome. Yeah.
I told him, we better get out there and give it our all, gosh dang it.
That's right. Dad nabbit. All right, Josh. Well, I guess we'll meet up next week and talk Final Four a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That'll be a lot of fun, as it always is, except now it's terrible and I don't want to watch a game.
Yeah, I don't either. I know. It's my punishment too. Well, love you, buddy. Have a good rest of the week. See you. You too.
I'll be watching you Thursday and Friday.
Thank you, bud. I'll be trying to not, declare anybody else dead prematurely.
I hope you do.
I might. All right. We'll see you next time, same place. The Rex Chapman Show with super cool Josh Hopkins, powered by basketballnews.com.